Hi FlossTube, I'm Jennifer, the Calculated Stitcher. It's been a long time since you've seen me, and I haven't seen you either because I haven't been on social media or on FlossTube at all watching. The reason I haven't posted any videos, this is my fourth one to actually record since my last one, but somebody somehow was posting onto my account on FlossTube, well, on YouTube. And so I was having to take those out, and so then I had it suspended. And now to change all my security measures, and now it won't let me post. It'll say that it's posted, and I delete my videos, and then come to find out they're not posted. So we'll see. Oh, I didn't say today's March 10th, Wednesday, March 10th, so 2021. It's nice to be back. I missed making videos. Been super busy. We've had some medical scares. One of which is my son was having, my 17-year-old was having, I'm going to take these off because they're kind of a glare, but I'll put them back on in a second so I can see. My son, who is 17, started having heart pains. My husband's family has a history of congenital heart problems. It's called bivalve something. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so when he started having chest pains, we made him sit out a week in basketball and have testing done. And because his EKG came back abnormal, they said. So we took him to a pediatric cardiologist, which he resented because he is 17. Why does he have to see a pediatric? Anyway, so we saw her, and she said, by the time they did the sonograms and all the things, they said that what he has is actually mitral valve regurgitation, I think is what it's called. And so nothing to worry about right now. We'll just do sonogram once a year just to watch it and make sure it doesn't progress. My husband's brother passed away when he was 48 or 49. He had 3 open heart surgeries, had to have a valve replaced twice, and and then my husband's grandfather passed away when he was 32. So we were just a little worried, but luckily everything came back and we're good. So that's nice. Like I said, I haven't been able to post, and I really haven't been on social media at all because when I get on, what I want to see is, if I wanted to listen to things about politics and things like that, then I would be on social media accounts for that. When I get on, when I watch a FlossTube, I just want to watch and listen to the love of stitching and about people's lives. I love listening to what's going on in someone's life. And so, so I just stopped for a while. It was just getting a little bit too much. So I'm going to go ahead and start posting back on Instagram, and hopefully I won't be led down that road again, and so we'll be fine. Anyway, so seems like I forgot to tell you something, but if I think about it, I'll talk about it in a minute. There are some plans in the works, and I'll talk about that later when I'm talking after I show all my stuff. I also have, like I said, I've done 3 other videos, and so I've shown things that people have sent, and new charts and linen and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought it posted, so my video posted, so I put everything away, and then it didn't. So then I would try to remember what I had and hadn't shown, and after I'd put it away. And so if I have forgotten one of yours, if you'll just let me know, and I will gladly get it. Like if you sent me a card, I have a journal where I keep all of them. I can go back and get them and pull them out. But it's just been a big mess. And plus my house has been under construction, and we've been moving things around, and things are in boxes, out of boxes, in boxes, out of boxes. So just a little craziness, but that's okay. Makes life fun, right? So speaking of journals, so what I've decided to do is last year I bought Jen Lee's organizer, and I loved it. And I had it spiral bound. I had heard about that from Kia B, I think. I heard about that you could do that at the office supply store, so I did that. So, but this year I got into junk journaling, and I really enjoy it. Well, I went to a I mean, I know some people call them antique stores, but to me that's more like a, you know, nice pieces. Like this piece right here came from an antique store, so it's, you know, it's antique, it's fine. But when you go to look for just like old junk, you want to go to a junk store. So call it an antique store, call it a junk store. Anyway, they were throwing out a bunch of books that had gotten wet and were damaged, and I thought, oh, that would be perfect. If they're going to throw them away anyway, I can make them into junk journals, and then I don't have to worry about ruining like a nice old book. And so most of them were like these Reader's Digest condensed books, and they just have different stories in them. And so some of the pages were wet, and so what I've done is I've just pulled out the ones that were wet and created a cross-stitch planner. And so this is what I did. This is actually part of the book, and I thought it was pretty, so I think I'm going to just decorate around it. But all of these planner images come from Jen Lee's planner, and you can get that. She has it if you go to her floss tube. She used to have the link on there. I don't know if it's still there, if it was only for the ones with the planner, where she talked about the planner. But it's an Etsy shop, and I'm pretty sure it's Quirks and Stitches. I'll see if I can link it below. I'm going to try. I'm not good at that because I do everything on my phone. So for example, these were my my focus, and you can tell March. I'll show you in a minute what I did. But so this is the first page I did, and this is just for the year. And I have a space right here that I'm going to journal a little bit on right there. And so then this is my January, the beginning of my January. And what I did was I took a picture of my focus piece, and I just wrote about it right here. And so these are just like, just little decorations, if you will, to make it look pretty. So this printer is actually Brenda in the Serial Starter. Brenda talked about having a printer that she could print from her phone to get the pictures. And so that's what this is. This is the Kodak brand one. I bought it over Christmas break, and so I really like it. It's very handy to have for this specifically. Then I made a pocket right here, and in this pocket I did one card that's for my finishes. So these are my finishes so far this year. And then these are things that I've worked on so far this year. And so I did them front and back. I did them, and I put them on a thicker piece of board. And so they're just stuck right here at the beginning in this pocket. So there's some I need to add to them. I haven't done so yet. So this is a continuing of my January. These were my goals for the month. And then the only start I had planned was Hannah. And I did actually start her. I started her right here, oops, on the 1st. And so here, I just wrote down what I stitched on every day. I just want to see if I can stitch every day. And so this is what I stitched on every day in January. And then I have this where I actually journal about fun, interesting things that happened during the month. And then this is her acrostic that Jen Lee does. And so this is my where I documented finishing that acrostic. And so then here's February, and so my token of love was supposed to be my focus. And then here I made this out of a little playing card. I didn't reach either one of these goals. My husband's birthday. So this is where I put the starts this time, and I only had one start. I'm trying not to do more than one start a month at most, because I'm trying to get some finishes, I think, like most people. And then here's my monthly, what I worked on here. And then over here is my acrostic and how I finished it. And this was just a, like a little decorative journal card. I made that. And then this is where I actually put, this was supposed to be my focus finish. And I talked about why I did not actually finish it because that was one of my goals, was to finish it, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And then in here, I wrote about things that happened during the month. This is when we had all the snow. It was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life. And I so need to now move where there is snow. Now, where I live, are we prepared for snow? No, it never snows. And so we couldn't, well, I live on dirt roads. And so dirt roads are not so bad when they're icy or snowy. So it was not bad. I could get to town, no problem. But my kids couldn't get to school because some of them travel like an hour, hour and a half away to get to school here. And so we didn't have school all week. It was the craziest thing ever. But snow is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life. I absolutely loved the snow. And yes, there were bad things that had, rolling blackouts, and we had a food shortage again. It was kind of like the beginning of quarantine. Remember when like toilet paper was all gone and, you couldn't get water, you couldn't get all the stuff. Well, it was like that for about a week and a half here in the surrounding area. You couldn't, because nobody could deliver. And so everybody was running out. But I like to look on the bright side, and I enjoyed every minute of it. When you live out in the country, though, it's not like we have well water. So we have a pump, and as long as you keep it going, it won't freeze. It just keeps going. And so we just kept it running. And so we didn't have to worry about the city water supply freezing or anything like that, which happened because my oldest son works for the water supply, the city of Hondo in Texas, for the water supply. And so he worked nonstop. I mean, he worked 24 hours a day for like a whole week, and trying to unfreeze their pumps and stuff. But we also have chickens. We get over 24 eggs a day, so it's not like we were going to starve. I mean, so when you live in the country, it's a little different than, I guess, if you had to live in the city and depend on like city utilities and things like that. But I just loved it. I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. So yes, I need to move somewhere with snow. But I need to also, I learned I don't have clothing meant for that kind of weather. The only jacket I own is a hoodie. I don't own a jacket. It doesn't get cold enough here for long enough. Now, it may drop down to 32 or something every once in a while, like 3 or 4 times during the winter. But it's only like for a couple of hours, and then it'll warm up to like the 50s or 60s. So you don't need a big jacket for that. Anyway, whatever. I digress. But I loved it. So anyway, but so one of the things we had to do at school, we found out that pipes had burst, and my husband and I went to go feed his animals in his lab, and because he's a science teacher, and we found water. I mean, it was like standing. That's one of the pictures. He let me see, this one right here. That's him. I took that's his lab right there, and the water is just coming down the hallway. It's the funniest thing. But oh, here's some. Isn't that pretty? That tree. It's one of my favorite trees down at the cattle pens. And then my Dominecker. I couldn't figure out why she wouldn't go back in the chicken coop. It's warm in there, but anyway. So I loved the snow. It was great. But this is my journal. And so, oh, here's March. I haven't put my focus piece here. It's been so crazy. I haven't had a chance to do that part. I've already reached one of my goals. Hallelujah, since I didn't reach any in February, excuse me. And then this is where I'm going to talk about my new start, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then this is where I've gotten to so far. My son turns 18 this month. I'm very, very sad. And then back here is where I've started my acrostic. And this is just a little place to do journaling. It has little things in it. So, but that's how I'm going to do mine. And so of course, I haven't gotten to April or anything. I'm just doing it a month at a time. But I really enjoy this. And so the fabric kind of acts as a tab, so you can get to month to month. So that's how I'm doing I'm doing Jen Lee's journal, her journaling, but I'm putting it into a junk journal format. So, okay. Anyway, so I've been going 15 minutes. Let's talk about some stitching, shall we? All right, that would be nice, Jennifer. Okay, so as I said, Hannah Hetherington was a focus piece, and I really think these colors are probably the most favorite thing I think I've ever stitched color-wise. And they're in dinky dyes. And so here are my dinky dyes right here. And it's these blues. Something about the blue. I can't explain. It's this one, I think, really. It's hard to understand. If you saw it in person, it kind of takes my breath away. So here's my information for it. It's from the Heart Needle Arts. I'm doing it on 40 count Confederate gray. And I began it, it says here, on January 1st, 2021. And I'm using the called for dinky dyes. So those are the dinky dyes. And this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. I'm doing this one right here. And this, I really wanted to finish it, but I did not get to. I did get the border all the way around, and then I got this much completed. And what you can see, like what I see in my screen right now, it's not nearly as beautiful as it is in real life. It really does. I catch my breath when I look at it. So I hope to have this finished this year. I'm hoping, but you know how that goes. But I have not worked on it since January. And I'll tell you right now, what threw me way off was that my grandson turned 1 in February. And so I was making his birth sampler. And then I also made his cousin, so his it's my son's son, so his mother's sister's child, so cousin on the other side of the family. I wanted to make her a ornament like his, and so, which I did. Well, I had to have it all done before I went to his birthday party because they were going to be there, and so I could give it to him. So most of February, when I should have been working on my focus piece for my husband, I actually spent most of the time working on my grandson's birth sampler and the other ornament. But that's okay. I'm going to get a head start this year because I'd like to make them matching ornaments every year because the sisters are really super close, and I assume that their children will probably also be pretty close. And so I thought that would be something nice to do. So anyway, that's what threw me way far behind because I thought I really could have Hannah Hetherington done by the end of February. But now that I got that completed, I should have some more time. Of course, then you start working on something else and then you're like, oh, now I love this one. And so that happens. The next thing that I worked on, let me open my journal. I'm just going to follow my little chart right here. So I spent the first 17 days working on Hannah Hetherington. And my daughter actually picked that project for me. And I just love it. So the next thing I worked on was this, my interpretation of this. This is by It's So Emma. It's owned by the same people who own and run Fat Quarter Shop. And I started this in, hold on, I have a thing. I think it was started in Quilty Love. It was started January 19th, 2020. Oh yeah, because I thought it was funny. I finished it exactly 1 year. I finished it January 19th, 2021. So it took me exactly 1 year. Now, I didn't do the whole thing. What I did was, and I also stitched it 1/1, and this is 27 count Linda Macchiato by Luminous Fiber Arts, Misty Purcell. She has an Etsy shop, but she has started a do you call it a web page? An online store, and it's luminousfiberarts.com. I got to catch my words there. But this is the information on the fabric I used. And then I used just some DNC. And so I did it 1/1 on 27 count. And I just wanted like a little ornament that I could hang on my Valentine tree. And then I have this little one right here. I just stitched that like freehand to put on the back of the ornament. So that I finished. I really enjoy stitching 1/1. It's like my favorite thing to do. My only problem is when I do like over 1 on 40. Sometimes I think my stitches look too fat. Sometimes I think they look too thin. And I know if I used like Saphine, the silk floss, it's better for the higher counts. But my 103, I think my, what is my 103? It's a Veriswa 100-3. I think it does okay on 40 count, but on my 46 count and things, some people have said just to do 1 stitch, like a tent stitch, I think they call it. And so I tried that, but then sometimes it looked good and sometimes it didn't. So I'm still playing around with it. But for bigger linen like this, I mean, over 1 is super easy. So that was, I liked that. I liked that a lot. So that was my interpretation of Quilty Love. And again, that's by It's So Emma, and you can get this at Fat Quarter Shop. I don't know if they sell it anywhere else, if anybody else has it, or if they only sell it at Fat Quarter Shop. I don't know. I would assume they'd sell it anywhere. Then, let me look. The next thing I did was Fleece Navidad. Okay, so this is the one that I did for my grandson. So this is my grandson's. And they were talking about moving. So they left it here at my house. And I used the finishing tutorial by, oh, first let me show you. This is the pattern. It's Fleece Navidad. Again, Misty at Luminous Fiber Arts. Cutest patterns ever. I love her stuff. I decided to do one for Parker, which is my grandson, and then his cousin on the other side. And I'll have I have a picture of them both together because I've already given her the other one. But I wasn't sure if I showed this finish, so I was going to show you. This I finished using Vanna's tutorial for just a flat tag ornament. It's a mounted tag, maybe is what it's called. I even made the cording. I was so proud of myself. I'm like watching her video and I'm doing it, and then I rewind it and watch it again. But so this is what, oops, grab it back up here, Jennifer. This was my finish. I'm trying to look through the reading part to make sure you can see it. Let me see if I click on this, if it's clear. So this is Parker's, and then this was already done by Christmas, but I made one just like it for his cousin. And so hers, this is in pink right here, and I think the blue I made is pink. So, and so I spent a few days doing that in January and in February to finish it up. So I have 2 of those that I did. The next thing I worked on was Threadwork Primitives Beggar's Fourth. And this one, whoops, Jennifer, back it up. There we go. This one I started June 2nd, 2019, and I finished it January 25th of 2021. So I did actually finish this. I was very excited. This is one of my Jubilant Junes. If you've been with me a while, you know that I don't do Stitch Mania, because I teach high school math and May is super busy. And so, especially this year, we have graduation that we're in charge of, and of which we were in charge, my grammar. So I do Jubilant June. So I do the same thing, but in June. I don't know if, I think I'm just going to do work on, only if there's an opening will I add something to it. So let me stand up so I can get closer. This is my finish. And I love this. I was thinking the other day, gosh, you know, I never really finish anything. So then I started looking through my basket of finishes since I first started, which I guess was 3.5 years ago. I actually have a few things. I mean, not as many as most people get finished, but I just never fully finish them. So I'm hoping this summer maybe I could fully finish some of these. I just am not sure what to do with them. Okay, so that was my Beggar's Fourth. The next thing I worked on, because I really wanted to get this completed, this is a free pattern, and so I don't have it because it's like a download. You can get it from Fat Quarter Shop. and they're supposed to look like little conversation hearts. And so the ones they have say like love and XOXOXO kind of a thing. And I decided, since I have 5 children, I was going to stitch 5 of them in a row. And then on the top, I'm going to top stitch their names in. Like, that's what it says on the conversation heart. So I got one finished except for the name, and I started on the second one. I'm doing, this one is, I think it's 28 count over 1. I'm pretty sure this is just like the kind of stuff you get from Hobby Lobby. I'm sure that's where I got it. And so I just, and I'm going to put, like, my oldest child is Cody, and so I'm going to like do long stitch or back stitch. I don't know the difference, so I have to learn that first. But so I started that. So I only stitched on this like 2 days, so it didn't get much love, and I'm just using DMC for that. The next thing that I did was this, and this actually was started in my Jubilant June in 2019 also. Spring Gathering by Scattered Seed Samplers. So when I started, all I had were like a couple of eggs, and I think maybe an egg down here. My basket wasn't finished or anything. And so I only worked on this one day, and my daughter's calling. I hope you can't see that on the screen. And so this is what I have finished now. I would like to have this finished for Easter, but even if I have it finished, I'm not going to get it fully finished, so I don't know what I'm thinking. The next thing that I worked on was this vermilion, what is it called? Peacock's Drum and Smalls. This one right here, and this one I started, let me look on my paper. I started in Jubilant June also in 2019, and I'm going to make this right here, and it's super like tall on the top. I don't think I want that. I want it to be a short drum. So this is my finish, and I did it in a blue silk, and I can't remember, did I write it on there? Nope, I'd have to go back and look. It's probably in my Instagram somewhere also. If you need to know, let me know. But it is a beautiful blue silk. So I'm going to make this into a small drum. As soon as Vanna has a tutorial, I'll have to see if she has one. Then I'll have to watch it before I try to do that. Okay, so then, oh, I didn't get that out, but that's okay. I'm skipping one thing I worked on, but that's okay. So let me go to February. So that's what I worked on in January. Then this birth sampler is what I worked on almost all of February. We went, let's see, let me look. I finished it on the 25th of February, and it took me almost every day to finish it. I'm such a slow stitcher. It is super cute, and I finished it as a what does she call it? A flat fold, maybe a mounted flat fold. It's the one where it stands up. It makes like a little tent, and you put the ribbon in between to hold it like this, and it's sitting on the front. I have pictures. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put it here. But I don't know how to do that. So if it's not here, then I will put it at the end of the video, because I do know how to add it on there. So, and again, of course, this doesn't say, you know, this. It has his information. So anyway, I thought it turned out really cute. I was very, very happy with it. But that, like I said, that's what most of February was spent working. Now, my focus piece was supposed to be my token of love, and I started this. When did I start this? Do I have it written here? I haven't looked it up yet. I think I started this in Jubilant June, but I'm not really sure. Okay, let me show you what I did. So I'm stitching this on 28 count cream cashel linen, and I'm using Gloriana Black Cherry silk. It's just monochromatic. There it goes. Nope. Stop moving, Jennifer. See if it'll work. There it goes. Black Cherry. Okay. Now, when I first started it, and I lamented about this on my channel previously, this was the start that I had, and I was doing it, was it doing it 1/2 or 2? It looks like 2/2. And I don't know what it is about 2/2. My stitches, I try railroading. I mean, I'm even stitching with silk, and I just don't understand what it is that I'm doing wrong, that this just doesn't look right to me. And plus it looks huge. Doesn't that just look huge? So then what I decided to do with encouragement from my viewers, I really, really appreciate your lovely comments, because y'all make my decisions easier and make me feel so much better about myself. I decided to do it 1/1. So what's funny is, like, this, look how big this is. This is just this one and this one. Those are these right here. And this is as wide as it's going to be, stitching it 1/1. And I really like this so much better. And that's what numerous people said in the response when I showed it the last time. And that's why it's been put away for so long, because I just did not like the way it looked. And they said, just start over. And I thought, yeah, that just gave me the courage to say, you know what? I mean, it doesn't matter how much time this took. It can go away. And now I just really like this. And this is for my husband and our anniversary is what this is supposed to be for. And that was supposed to be my focus, but I had to focus on a birth sampler. So that's okay. It's all right. It'll be here. My new start is something I've wanted to start for a long time. I love this. I've had probably 2 years. I've had the fabric and everything ready to go. This is out of Blackbird's My Dear Hearts little book. And so this, and like I said, I didn't have much time, because if I didn't have to stitch on the birth sampler, I was trying to focus on my token of love. I just wanted to start it. So, and that's all I did. I mean, I stitched like 30 minutes and then that was it. So it's on the called for fabric, which is 36 count Tango. I don't know if 36 is what's called for, but it's the color that's called. Yeah, 36 Tango. So that's all I have. It's tiny, isn't it? It's okay. It's fine. And then these are the 2 colors I'm using. I don't think these are the called for. What is called for? Weeks Dye Works, Fawn and Sandcastle. I just picked out these 2 because floss is difficult to get, like everybody knows. So I was just using things that were in my stash. Okay, so that is that. Okay, let's see. What's next? I did that one. And so then I worked a little bit, because this was one of my goals in February, was to get back to my anniversaries of the heart. And so previously I had finished these 3. This one, I don't have anybody in my family born in January of which I know, so I'm trying to find someone like an ancestor of some that I could put in here. My mom's supposed to give that to me. This one is February, and so this one I have down here for my husband, Stacy Keeney, in 1971. That's when he was born. And then this is the bonus pattern, and so my grandson was born in February, so I thought that'd be perfect. So I put Parker Keeney right here. That's his. And so since then, I finished March, which is my 18-year-old son's birthday is in March. So this is for him. And let me fold this. And so this one, the original pattern has a bunny right here. His name is Kyler, K-Y-L-E-R, and he was born in 2003. But instead of the bunny, my son has a Great Pyrenees. That's his dog. And so this is my first effort at charting something. So that's my dog. That's my Great Pyrenees. So that's Kyler's block. And now I've started on April. So here's all of them. You can see them. I'll do it like this so you can kind of see. This is as far over as it's going to go. Now they'll go down. This is the April. Oh, it's kind of, here we go. April, and this one is going to be my twins. My twin daughters were born in April, so this is going to be their block. And when it's finished, it should look somewhat like this. Now the colors are way off because I know this pattern is older, and so my floss, like the floss called for here, looks very gray, like a purpley gray almost. Nowadays, the one that I own is brown. So, which is not a big deal. I mean, if I didn't like it, I would change it. But so my colors are somewhat different, and I just change them out as I see needed, so as need be. So this is the one I'm working on right now, and I'm really having a lot of fun working on it. So I think that's all I've worked on in March, actually. I worked on my token of love one day, and the rest has all been, I finished up March, and now I'm on April. My goals for March were to finish the March block, which I did, and finish the April block, which I hope to have finished. We'll see. I haven't started my new start for this month. Let me put my cards away with my whips and my starts, but I will show you now my plans. This is going to be my new start. I've loved this since I saw Jen from Jen Stitching Niche on Facebook, and not Facebook, on Instagram and on FlossTube, Jen Stitching Niche. She also has an Etsy shop, Jen Stitching Niche. So I saw this, she had it, and something about these colors, and they're not my colors normally, but I love them. Absolutely love them. And they are called for DMC, and so that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be my start. I thought it looked kind of, you know, March, the green. So my fabric is Velt 40 count, and it has a green tint to it, like in some places more green than other. Like right here, it has a lot of green. Over here, not as much green. So it just kind of depends on which section I choose. I'll choose it according to which one will look best, I think, with it. But I thought it would bring out the green if it had a little bit in it. So I'm going to use the Velt. And then these are the 4 colors for which it calls. So I think it's going to be super pretty. Super, super pretty. Haven't decided what day I'm going to begin it. It's not one of those that I'm trying to finish. I'm trying to finish some of the others. So, I mean, I'm not really trying. Like some people talk about how it, you know, stresses them out to have so many whips, and I don't even know how many whips I have. But I would just like to finish some so I could say I finished, because some people like finish 40 in a year. Whew! That's some stitching, I tell you what. Another one I want to begin, and I think this will probably be my April start, is going to be the Springfield 1817 sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. This one is the one that Pam and Steph talk about on their channel. If you buy it, you're entered into like a drawing to go to Europe. But I bought it because it's just, I mean, I'd love to go to Europe with Pam and Steph. But I think these colors are just, this part up here gets me. And I don't know what it's, some about these colors just are absolutely gorgeous. So what I did was I called Keepsakes in Ohio, which is where Stephanie works. And I asked if they could kit it up for me to get me the linen. And I told them what count I wanted. And then I asked if they could do it in NPI silks, because it's called for DMC, but I really wanted it to do it in silk. And they were kind enough that they made a little bundle of all the NPI silks. Aren't they pretty? And so I have those, And then this is my fabric, and it's the one they picked out was 46 count cream linen. And so it's just a cream color like this. So these are going to go in there. I think that's going to be really pretty. So those are my plans. Put that over there. Then very quickly, I was just going to show some haul. One thing that I got, oh, hold on, my son's calling. I'll be back. Sorry, he was calling, telling me about the track meet. Okay, so I bought this from Under the Woolen Willow. Isn't it cute? It's out of, it looks like old chenille. I don't know if it's old or not, but it's super cute. And so I bought this like to be a bowl filler. I thought it'd be pretty in Valentine's Day bowl. If I ever finish anything to put in the bowl. Okay. Some of the, these are a few patterns that I just had that I hadn't filed away in my files yet. And so I was just going to show them to you and just quickly. I have to go pick him up. He asked me, he hurt his thigh muscle, he said. This is Pineberry Lane. I'm not going to take him out because I'm just going to go through quickly. Token of Love. This is a Redwork sampler pillow, it says. And it's really cute. I think I'm going to start this one pretty soon. Look at these cute little, I don't know if the instructions for that are in there or not, but I think I could figure it out if not. But it's really cute. And then this is Caroline Broomhead, and I think I saw this on Brenda in the Cereal Starter, I think. And so it made me want it. And so I ended up buying it twice. I've got to stop doing that. I have a bunch of patterns I bought twice. Anyway, Plum Street Antiques. It's just super cute. So I got that one. This I thought was interesting because it reminds me of a cathedral window in quilting. If you've ever seen those quilts, I love cathedral window. And that's what it reminded me of. This is called A Sheep Farm. And the name of the company is Thistles. I've never heard of them before, but isn't it really sweet? But it looks like it's constructed like a cathedral window. Heartstring Samplery. I love this series. I'm a big hymn person. That's my favorite part of the service at church is getting to sing, even though I do not sing well at all. It is my favorite part. And so this is Amazing Grace. And the new one is out. I can't remember what it is, but I've already ordered it. Whatever it is, I ordered it. This is Elizabeth Baker by Pineberry Lane, and I'm pretty sure I saw this also on Brendan, the Cereal Starter. Any sampler, and that's mainly what I love to stitch, any sampler that I buy is usually because of Brenda and the Cereal Starter, so that's okay. They're good enablers. I love the blue. I think it's what it gets me there is the blue. Martha Pudsey, the Scarlet House, again, I saw it on Brandon, the Cereal Starter. I think I also, Kitten Stitcher has mentioned this one previously also. I mean, I know a lot of people probably have. But like I said, I haven't been watching anybody in a long time just because I just want to. Okay, so here's the Scarlet House, Harriet Taylor. And I don't know, something about this sidewalk right here. I don't know. And these little flowers, I don't know. It just makes me happy. So I like that one. I liked this one so much, I ordered this one twice. So, I'm sorry, who would like to see it? Fox and Rabbit. I love their stuff, don't you? And their fabric, I've ordered numerous pieces of their fabric and love it. I mean, I haven't stitched on it because I haven't really started anything, but it's beautiful. This one's called Sarah Hayward. And these flowers, those moths, but these right here, they remind me, my mom always calls them Johnny Jump Ups. What are they called? They're the little ones. I don't know if these are actually the little ones or if they're bigger ones, but they're purple and yellow. Oh, I can't think of what they're called. Anyway, my mother we always call them Johnny Jump Ups, and so they reminded me of her. So This is Blackbird Design Sweet Summer Come Again, and I'm sure everybody has seen this. I love these little needle rolls like this. I think they're really, really cute. So I would like to make some of those. That's cute. This is the Scarlet Letter Susan Singleton. I really like this, and I'm not sure why. You know what it reminds me of? It's almost, I'm trying not to get glare on it. It's almost Kathy Barrick-y in design. I just used Kathy Barrick as an adjective. It's okay. But it reminds me, something about it reminds me of something that she would design. Not sure what, but I really do like this. It's like it's very much a veer from what I would normally stitch, but I do like that one. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever ordered from Delaney Woods Treasure on Etsy. Let me get her little card is in here. Oh, I don't know. It has her email. Oh, here on the back. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So her Etsy is down here. I'm trying to hold it still. Oh, and it looks, I wonder if that's I never even noticed it has primitivehandmademercantile.com. Well, I definitely will go check that out. I got a couple of her designs. This one, which I thought was super cute. Birds of Love. I thought this would be cute in a bowl for Valentine's Day. And Strawberry Hair Sewing Roll. I like that one also. And it's Delaney Woods Treasures. Okay, so, and I got other ones, but they've been put away, and so it's fine. I mean, most of y'all have seen most of these probably somewhere else. Things that I got, I mean, I'm talking, these are Christmas cards. This one is from the Curahee Stitcher. Isn't that beautiful? I love cardinals. So pretty, and it's 3-dimensional. It's like this comes off. So I'm thinking I may take this off and actually put it in my journal. I don't know how I'm going to do that. And then this one is from, what does she go by? Lady Legionnaire. I think she was a winner of one of my giveaways one time. So she sent me this beautiful birthday card with a lovely note inside. And then my most faithful patron, can you say that? Someone who frequents your, what do you call that? Consumer for my store. She buys bags all the time. Sarah. I love Sarah. She made me a bag. Y'all don't realize how many bags this lady has bought from my store, and I so appreciate it. She made me, look at this pretty bag. I love this bag. Look at this. Isn't that, it's sparkly? It's got a handle. I'm so excited because I've been waiting to use this since December. But I know the rule is you can't use it until you show it. So now, this is the 4th time I filmed this bag. I am using this bag, whether this goes up or not. So, and she sent me, and what she did was she had sent me, this was going to be my Christmas present she made for me. Isn't that pretty? And she sent it a beautiful, sweet note inside. And then I mentioned that it was going to be my birthday. And so she sent me also, it's like one of them was open first, open second. I thought that was cute. She sent me this cute little birthday card also with a Hobby Lobby gift card. Ah! Thank you. I haven't even used this. I've had this since December and I have not used it. I think that's showing a lot of self-control. I'm just going to say. So now I can show it. This is the last time I'm doing this. So thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate your business so much, and I appreciate your sweet, sweet, sweet words and this lovely bag. I'm so excited to use it. It's funny because really, I'll show you what I use. This is what I use. I just use these little cheapo, which are not good because the zippers get stuck and they just, but I mean, I sell the bags I make. I don't keep them. I mean, I'd like to keep them, but that defeats the purpose of making the bags for my shop. So those are the ones that I could find that I could remember. And now I'm going to use my Hobby Lobby gift card. I'm so excited. Okay. So last thing I want to show is, I don't think I ever showed this on my floss tube. I showed it on Instagram in December when I finished it, but I don't think any of the videos where I actually filmed it. It may have been, but I didn't think so. So here I finished my Jenny Bean for the parlor, and it is huge. And when I called Total Framing to find out how much it would cost to frame it, I thought, it's going to take me 4 years to save up to frame this, but that's okay. It's a goal, right? And so here is, I don't think I can get back far enough to, hold on. Let me move my chair. Nope, I cannot. So here it is. Here it is. I'm just going to keep. And there's the end. So I actually finished it. That's the bottom. Yay! So I wanted to show that just in case I had not previously done so. Something else that I've been working on is my mom and I have been working for years on a Dear Jane quilt. And if you Google it, you can, the book's at my mom's house. So we work on it when I go over there. And it's got a lot of pieces. It's got a lot. 13 times JKLM. So it's got 169 blocks. And then I don't know how many triangles that go around it. But they're tiny blocks. So like this is one of the blocks. This is an applique block. So I've been working on these with my my mom. This one's another applique block. This part is all stitched together, and then we're appliquing this part down. So I have been working on that with her also. I would like to get that finished within the next couple of years, since it's been a couple of years. I also have a few quilts that I need to make. My brother-in-law that I mentioned previously, I need to make, I'm working on his son's quilts, making them out of their dad's shirts. And he was very well known. He was a teacher for his ties. He had like, I don't know, 300 ties. I mean, he had a lot of ties. And so I also want trying to make a wall hanging out of the ties, because they are silk and I don't want to put them into the quilt and have them washed. I didn't know how it would handle. So very quickly, right now, my husband and I were talking about me, because my youngest son graduates this year. And he plans on going to Texas Tech in Lubbock, where my twin daughters are. And we'll be empty nesters. And I've always wanted to own my own shop. Sorry, those are my glasses. I saw something on the floor. It kind of scared me for a second. I thought it was a mouse or something. I didn't know. Anyway, I've always wanted to open my own shop. Well, where I live, people aren't going to drive, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours to come to a shop out here. Although my closest local needlework shop was in San Antonio, which is over an hour and a half. And they closed down. So I think now my closest one is in Dallas. I think someone said somewhere around Dallas, and that's like 8 to 9 hours away. So, I mean, they might drive, I don't know. But, so I think I'm going to try to start a shop. I've been researching it, and I think I'm going to begin with cross stitch, just because I always wanted to open a fabric store also. But I think it takes less space and probably less startup money to do cross stitch if you're just doing patterns, especially right at the beginning. And it takes up less space in your home and that kind of thing. Eventually, I want to branch out and have fabric in my shop also. I've always wanted to have a fabric shop that focused on pre-cuts and block of the months, because I think that's the easiest way for people who are busy to sew. And so my plan is, if I stop teaching, I have a fear because I have to make enough money to pay my bills. But I will have more time to devote to these things. And so I can make more bags to put. I still want to do the handmade things in there. I've thought about putting journals into my, not ones made out of books, because I don't have an unlimited amount of that, but ones that I actually create from scratch. And some can be cross-stitch related and some just journaling related, if you like to journal. So I would like to have more time to work on my handmade things. But so I think I'm going to begin with the cross-stitch. I am also going to, starting in the summer, have a stitch along. If you would like to, not a stitch along, a sew along. I'm going to have a free pattern, and I'm going to do tutorials for it, because I have time in the summer. Even if I decide to keep teaching, I can still do that this summer. I have it all planned out, and I have a coordinating cross stitch to go with it, and it'll all be free. My problem is I don't know how to get the free chart to you. I have an Etsy shop, but if I put it on my Etsy shop, I have to pay every time someone downloads it. And so, and I want it to be free, so I don't want to charge you just the whatever they cost to list it. I want it to be free, because I want people, especially people who don't sew, I want them to, and are interested, I want them to have something, an easy, free pattern. And there are lots of them out there. It's not, I mean, I'm not doing anything new, and I just feel like I can give back that way. Even if it's only like 2 people, sewing along, it's fine. I don't care. But I have plans for that, but we'll talk more about that when it gets closer. I gotta get through school. So, like I said, I have it all planned. I just have to figure out how to disseminate the information. And I don't know if that means I need to start a blog. I don't know. I have to look into all that. I have some friends who, in the stitching world, that I may reach out to and just ask a few questions if they don't mind. So, other than that, I think I'm finished, and I have to get my son asked if I come pick him up. He can't run the 200 because he's hurt. So I'm going to go pick him up, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.